Hey world, it is Sheila. Welcome back. Most people like it like that. I like just a dash of cream. Hello. Welcome to my kitchen. Pull up a chair and have a little beverage with me, and let's chat about what are the strengths when it comes to the ISFP. Yeah, let's go there today. As you can tell, I rarely plan. That's my demon and I just like, let's jump on and play energy this and see what I come up with. And that is 90% of my videos. Sometimes, very rarely, the one prior to this one with the list that I sat down and wrote out, that's like big girl territory for me. All right, so the strengths of an ISFP. Well, I believe we are very loyal, and that's going to be a huge strength in relationships and with, your job. But is loyal conditional or unconditional? I don't know. I think as long as it's in my FI, I'm very loyal. Once a job is no longer satisfying me, then I can move on. If a person isn't satisfying me, I can move on. But is that just most people? Probably. I don't know. No, I don't know. Like career-wise, my mom did a factory job all her life, and she didn't like it. I know she didn't like it, but she just got up every morning and went and did the same thing over and over all day, every day for years. And that would suffocate me like nobody's business. As long as our FI is on board, we're loyal. Our other strengths, I'm going through this whole like journey, and I'm really trying to look at the dark side of myself a lot. And so I'm been focusing more on that aspect of me, because all my life I've just kind of been like, riding the Ferris wheel round and round, and not really looking at the person sitting next to me in the cart or whatever those cages are in the Ferris wheel. So I feel like now in my life, I'm really looking at that person and judging her and figuring out, is this who I want to be? Is this what I want to be? Is this who I want to continue being? And so I'm having a hard time seeing my strengths lately. I know they're there, but I've been just kind of focusing on the whole demon side of me. Okay, some of my strengths, and that I think fall into ISFPs, are the very live and let live nature, and we are very carefree in that, and we are in the moment. So I don't think I spend much time even thinking about my past or past things that I've done wrong, or it's kind of like it's done. It's spilt milk. There's no going back and changing it. So why sit and fret about it? That's just always been, my mentality. And I think a lot of ISFPs, we don't spend a lot of time in the past, and we don't spend a lot of time in the future. We are in the moment, and in the moment is the only thing we really have, period. The past is gone. The future hasn't happened. So for ISFPs, our huge strength is our SE and in the moment, because that's all we have. we don't have the past anymore. Those are just memories. It's gone. It's not real. It doesn't exist anymore. And the future doesn't exist. I mean, we could go to bed tonight and know tomorrow. And so we can't count on our future plans. Do we want to live like, just throwing caution to the wind all the time? No, we don't. I mean, you can, but, I think about retirement and, money down the road. And so there's things that I do that in the back of my mind, I'm preparing and focusing for the future. There's little, dominoes that I'm setting up. So when, they get all knocked down, I have a decent path going to the end. And so I'm not oblivious to the NI. I see it. I mean, it's our double observers that are right in the middle. Oh my gosh, sorry. Right in the middle. So we are very, very balanced on the sensory and the intuition. It's like that's where we as ISFPs really do thrive huge. Just like boom, 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 boom. We can think about the facts and put it to the future. And so that's why I think so many ISFPs come off as intuitive, because we can go there pretty easily, but we do go to the S first. So we aren't going to be so throw caution to the wind in the future, like if the NI was, dead last. But I think with that in mind, being able to just live in the moment and really taking in the people around us, the things around us, that's where we do shine. And we're grounded in that. And so I think we can bring the NF people, the intuitives that are way out in la la land, we can reel them back down and be like, hey, snap out of your fake life that's in your head and come back down to reality. And this is what needs to get done in reality. Let's do this thing in reality. And then our really strong sensor friends, we can go to the NF and help them get out of so structured and routine and be like, let's do this fun, crazy thing that we could just get them out of their comfort zone. So I think, we can balance either of those people on the sides of us into balance. I'm feeling very high about the ISFP. Like, we can bring all people into balance. Let me take a sip of my grape Kool-Aid really quick here. You guys want some of my Kool-Aid? I think, with our feelings and being a feeler, we aren't afraid to go there with other people sometimes. Even though it's introverted feeling and we really don't like to show our emotions when we're in the middle of our emotions. But once I've processed all of my emotions, I can very much go to somebody and talk about them then, express them then, be with a person in the moment of when they're in their struggles, and understand them and sit with them in their pain and not be afraid. We're very good at that. I almost love, and I don't know if other ISFPs too, but I love going into the deep end of the pool with people. It's like, I don't mind going down, swimming around, holding my breath for a long time with this person in pain, holding their hand under the water so they don't feel alone. And I think ISFPs are really good at going there. I think any, FI Dom, or feeler, but I think FI really can just go deep and not be afraid. When it's so dark and murky down deep, we're not scared. I'm not thinking of the sharks that could be around me at that moment. I'm just in it with my friend who's going through this heavy thing, and I'm just like, I don't want her to feel alone. I don't want her to think she has to, swim by herself. So, yeah. I don't like sitting on the edge of the pool and watching somebody struggle in the water. I do want to just dive in and help them. If they need to be down in the deep end, swim with them for a while and, then come back up. And if they still have to stay down deep by themselves and process it, I'll know that, and I can sit by the edge of the pool and watch them, and put a hand out when they need to come back up. But I think when we are the ones in the pool and we're down deep and murky and there is nobody around to give us a hand, I think it can be hard to come back up. But I always know that, and this, I don't know if this is an ISFP thing either, but I always know that tomorrow is going to be better. And it's probably because I've been through, for every heartache and hard thing I've done in my life, and I've gone through it and come out on the other end of the pool, seeing the sunshine, I know it's always going to get better. Nothing is so hard and heavy. Time just will heal. So I'm not one to drown. And I know, unfortunately, there are people who drown in the deep end of the pool and never come out. And my heart does break because I just always like, if they would have just held on a little longer, if they would have just held their breath a little longer, they would have got through this heavy, dark thing in life, and they could have came up and sat at the edge of the pool and enjoyed life. But I think it's just becoming more and more common for people to drown in the deep end. And I don't know how to fix that. I don't think we can as a society. Maybe I don't know. It's too heavy and too big of a concept for me to tackle that issue by myself. I'm just going to see when my friends are in the deep end of the pool and make sure they're okay. And that's all I can do. It's all I feel like I can do as an IEP. Like, I don't have the energy to, rally the whole troops. I like to keep it contained into the smaller thing. And I think that just is an IP versus an EJ thing. The EJs are going to throw that net out wide and far in the pool, where we are going to be more the throw a lifesaver out to a person or a couple people. So I applaud the EJs that are able to cast their nets wide. But we all have our strengths. I mean, we can't all do everything. And so those are just a few that I think are a couple strengths of the ISFP. There's many more, I'm sure, but of course, I just jumped on here and press play and ramble. All right. enjoy my Kool-Aid.